breaking into my car in the parking lot. He fractured my face right here.
How does a dead man speak? That's the question tearing through Pawn Stars fandom right now, because Richard the Old Man Harrison may be long gone. But in a chilling twist no one saw coming, after his death, Rick Harrison is facing what insiders are calling a sentence. And it's one his father may have seen coming all along. The sentence no one saw. Coming in yet another twist that shocked fans of Pawn Stars, rumors that had lingered in the background for years have finally erupted into something too loud to ignore. Previously overlooked interview clips paint a picture far more complicated than anyone expected. While there's no official prison sentence looming over Rick, the implications are just as damning. Growing legal pressure, accusations of betrayal, and a storm of scrutiny that may change the way fans view them. Court-adjacent sources suggest that Richard's final instructions to his legal team included a sealed memorandum not meant for public release, until now. While the contents of that document remain confidential, one family source claims it contained serious concerns about Rick's handling of the business and the estate. Since begin. Inheritance, control, and fallout. Rick Harrison, once seen as the stable, grounded face of the Pawn Stars empire, has spent the last few years dodging uncomfortable questions. After the death of both his father and more recently his son Adam in 2024 from a reported drug overdose, fans began to see a different side of Rick. More withdrawn, more tensions within the Harrison family exploded. One source close to the situation says there were immediate disputes over assets, specifically who controlled the rights to Pawn Stars-related merchandise and royalties. Estate filings from 2019 suggest there was a reshuffling of business ownership, with Rick consolidating more power under his own name. Fans who paid close attention might remember a moment during a 2020 episode of Pawn Stars when Rick seemed unusually emotional talking about his father. At the time, it was chalked up to nostalgia, but new context changes that clip entirely. Viewers are now dissecting the footage, pointing out Rick's vague references to things my dad never wanted aired out, and how some legacies get lost in translation. Could that have been a quiet nod to the family conflict boiling behind the scenes? More recently, rumors have surfaced that Rick is facing legal threats from within the extended Harrison family. While no official lawsuits have been confirmed, one Vegas attorney with knowledge of the estate claims that multiple parties have considered action related to the mismanagement. But in one unearthed interview clip from 2013, when asked about legacy, he said, "You hope your kids honor you, not just with words, but with the way they act when you're gone." That line, once seen as general fatherly wisdom, now sounds like something far more targeted. Where is the damage coming from? Rick's retreat from the public eye didn't happen overnight, but the pressure has been mounting for months, if not years. There's the inheritance dispute surrounding his father's estate, which family insiders claim is still unresolved. There are at least 2 rumored legal complaints from former business partners. There's the lingering tension with his son Corey, who has not publicly appeared with Rick since 2023. And of course, there's the emotional crater left by Adam's death, which Rick has never spoken about, not once. All of these layers have one thing in common: camera angles and even background music, a level of micromanagement previously unheard of. Rumors have surfaced that Left Field Pictures is in talks to scale back Rick's role in the show or replace him entirely with a younger, rotating cast. That hasn't been confirmed, but it has sparked concern among fans who've noticed a subtle shift in screen time. More Chumlee, more guest appraisers, less Rick. Insiders suggest that the network is watching Rick's every move, not for content, but for damage control. They're waiting to see if the next scandal will break on its own. Federal eyes on the Harrison estate? And filed. No agents have appeared. But according to 2 separate sources, one tied to Vegas real estate, the other to a law firm specializing in probate litigation, there have been informal inquiries made about asset transfer pawn shop. This doesn't mean a federal investigation is underway, but it suggests that someone, somewhere, is asking questions Rick may not be ready to answer. In the wake of growing financial scrutiny across reality TV stars, and in light of expanding digital licensing for syndicated content, the IRS has reportedly increased audits for businesses tied to media royalties. If Rick's name is on any of those lists, It would explain the recent radio silence. Yet today he's acting like a man cornered by something we haven't yet seen. Something bigger than lawsuits, deeper than family betrayal, and more threatening than bad PR. Whatever happens next, it won't be subtle. Because when you've lost your family, your reputation, and the trust of your audience, there's not much left to lose. And with federal attention turning toward the estate, Rick may not be able to stay silent much longer.